This is a knit fabric, and this is a woman. First time trying this. Let's see how it comes out. Hi, Alethea. Thank you for coming. This is Skill Building Saturdays, and today we're diving in on McCall 7565. I'm sewing view A, but I'm using the sleeves of view D. And today I'm going to show you how to sew the collar on the dress for view A. This is the feature for this week, Sewing Skill Building Saturdays. So let's get started. Thank you for coming. So here you can see I made a stitch line for the 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Then I went in and I stay stitched it a 1/2 inch from the raw edge. And now I'm going to attempt to go in and trim it down to 3/8 of an inch. And so I'm totally working on the whole entire dress, but Skill Building Saturdays featuring sewing the collar on the dress. So starting with number 21 is the instructions are asking to stay stitch the neck edge of the collar, then turn in the seam allowance on the neck edge or uninterface collar, clipping as necessary, press, and then trim the seam to 3/8 inch and stitch the collars together, turn and press, and attach the collar to the neck. I'm going to do this, and then you slip stitch the seam. So to attach the collar, we're doing several things. They're easy steps to follow. Stay stitching the neckline, trimming the collar, and stitching the two collars together and turn and attach to the dress. Let's get started. So I have stay stitched around the collar of the dress. As you can see, got to trim up the work. And next, we will be putting the two collar pieces together. And so with right sides together, these are the two collar pieces. Right sides facing, we're going to sew around the unnotched edges of the collar, 5/8 of an inch. I have sewn the two collar pieces together. I have to trim my work up and turn to the right side. But this is how it's looking so far. So I have attached the collar, clipped the collar to the neckline, but I trim my work, my collar seam down, and remember to notch outer curves and clip inner. So that's what I'm doing now. And then we're going to move on to the next step, pressing. Okay, so this is how the collar is looking after we've trimmed it, and we also turned it over, and it's sitting on the neckline of the dress. And of course, this end has to be folded over to the 3/8, and after we attach the collar to the dress, this seam folds in like that, and this folds over that seam. Seam goes under there. But we got to attach the collar to the dress, and we still have to press the collar. So let's move on. And so now we have sewn the collar. We have to trim our work, fold this seam down, and this seam goes up like this. Our seam goes up like that after we trim it and press it. And this goes down over top of the seam and slip stitch in place and press. And that's how you sew the collar into a dress. This is a knit fabric, and this is a woman. First time trying this. Let's see how it comes out. And so we have completed attaching the knit collar to the woven dress. It came out pretty nice. This is how it's looking. This is my first time working with the knit and the woven fabric. Came out great. And soon a video will be coming out regarding the dress this collar is attached to. I appreciate you all for coming. Thank you very much. Sweet sewing inspirations to all, and I'll see you in the next video.